Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Joanne and Kevin. You guys are already here. Whoa, doing an Art Nouveau mansion for a book cover? That sounds awesome. Yay, it's John. Like, happy to see you too, Kevin. And Joanne. Sorry. Good to see you too, Joanne. Love being early? Yeah. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Yeah. 3 p.m. Eastern. Got like 5 more minutes. Anybody have any drawing requests? Anybody want to see me draw anything in particular? Since for the early, how brush you use? I'm using right now. I'm using this brush 1 details. I like it because I guess I'll make the brush bigger. As you can see, it has like these little dots on it. So when you press hard, it has like these, I don't know, these streaks to it. I kind of like it. So yeah, I've been liking this one. Might use this one to also draw today's piece. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So much stained glass. Oh, I can imagine. Oh, that sounds like a lot of line work. Yeah. Bees. Bees? Love being early. Bees. I don't know why when you said that, I thought of like, this is the bee's knees. Oh yeah, it is Krita. I guess, I don't know what kind of brush. I mean, I haven't really taken a look at the properties for this brush. Krita comes with a bunch of like default brush tips that you can try out. I guess this one is this one. Let's see. Nothing really. They don't even have. I don't think opacity is. Yeah, opacity is not used. Flow setting surprisingly is not being used either. The only one is like pen pressure. That's it. It's a very texture. Okay. Interesting. Got a little bit of texture going on. Wash, build up. Yeah, this, I don't know. I like brushes that are very straightforward, very simple. So this brush is very simple, very straightforward. I kind of like it. I don't know. It creates these very interesting streaks and strokes to it if you use it. So I kind of like it. It's pretty good. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. Not a lot of bells and whistles to it. So yeah, like if you guys were here during like the chicken, the rooster fire rooster stream, this is the brush I used for that rooster. Yeah. It's so rolly. What? Facetious long suffering, another program I want. I mean, you could use this one. It is free. So you don't even have to pay anything for it. You just have to just download it and it's good to go. Yeah. But depending on your computer, it might be a little... Can you draw a round raccoon? Sure. I don't know how good that'll turn out. I don't even know what a raccoon looks like. It's got the thief mask. I'm just drawing the guy from Animal Crossing at this point, I feel like. This is not what raccoons look like, is it? I don't know what... You know, it's weird because I'm in Canada, so I feel like I should know what raccoons look like. But as you can see, I clearly don't know what a raccoon looks like. This looks like Sonic the Hedgehog and something. I don't know. And the guy, Tom Nook? Is it, what the name is? I never played Animal Crossing, so I don't know if that's his name. Something like this, maybe. His first Pokemon. Is this what Pokemon look like, Kevin? It makes it sound like I don't know what Pokemon... I know what Pokemon looks like. But here we got a raccoon. We'll add like these little things here. You make the ears fuzzy pretty much. Here's a rounded raccoon. It's not really round actually, now that I'm looking at it. It's not very round. Here, we got, wow, it's a thing of beauty right here. Oh, Sly Cooper, yeah. I never played it. Never grew up with the PS1 or PS2, so don't know. Pokemon, that's true. Just mess around with some animal features and you got it. Okay, it is 3 o'clock, so I think today I'm gonna try to stay on schedule. And so we're just gonna get through the rigmarole. Thank you everybody for joining us. Sounds like I'm about to end the stream, but we are just starting, so don't leave. But today we are going to be doing an action scene redraw, so thank you for, joining us on our stream here. It's going to be really great, and we're going to see if I can draw all the details from the scenes that I've picked out, and it should be interesting. But before we start, I'm just going to go through kind of our intro, as we usually do, and then we'll get started with the monthly challenge submissions. There have been a few, so I'm gonna shout those out, and then we'll get right into drawing the scene from Pirates of the Caribbean, because that's the one that won out. So hello everybody, welcome to our stream. If you don't know who we are Wing Canvas, a YouTube channel where we make art tutorial videos and tips and tricks on drawing advice and how to better our fellow art nerds in this art community of ours. So this is who we are, but we're not just a YouTube channel. We are also an actual art school originated here in Canada. We offer a variety of classes that range from drawing foundations for beginners taught by Arunia, all the way to advanced drawing and painting classes and animation classes taught by me, digital illustration class taught by Jesse, and cartooning and anime taught by Iggy. So if any of those sound interesting to you, be for sure to check out our website and take a look at all our different classes and such. So if you've been wanting to improve your art and get feedback from one of our amazing teachers that I've just listed, definitely go take a look and think about maybe signing up for our classes. And if you'd like to support us further, we also offer Patreon, where you can gain access to bonus perks such as feedback from one of our teachers here, recorded classes, file accesses to one of our classes or stream demos, as well as emotes and member badges. So if you like what we're doing here and you want to support us further, we do have a Patreon where you can check those things out. And we are also on social media. So we have Discord, Instagram, and Facebook, and we make a lot of announcements on those platforms, as well as post all of our kind of drawings there. So the piece that I'm going to be doing here, it will be posted on all those social media platforms. That way you can kind of really look at it, zoom in, instead of having to kind of figure out what I'm drawing while I'm zooming in and out on the stream. So that's our intro. Now that we have that out of the way, we can get right into the stream. And if you've never joined our stream before and this is your first time, before we start the actual feature presentation, we do shout out our monthly challenge submissions. And it is a new month. It is December, and so we have a new challenge, and this month's challenge is architecture. And I believe you can submit any type. Some people have submitted more background focused, like nature and all that kind of stuff, and other people have submitted more like building types. So honestly, it's pretty open. You can do whichever. And every weekend when we stream, we give a shout out to anybody who posts their drawings there. If me and Iggy or Jesse, it kind of like tickles her fancy, we will pick them out, and who knows, maybe one of your drawings will be on our stream. So yeah, so we're gonna start off with that first. And oh, I see that Joanne also mentioned, and I forgot to mention this, which is we do have a winter camp happening. It's going on from December 27th to the 29th, and then January 2nd to the 5th, and it's gonna be run one of the camps, which is a youth art camp that focuses on digital art, and the December one is digital art, that's run by Iggy, and then the January one is run is a cartooning and anime one, that one's also by Iggy. And then for me, I run this in the afternoon, and I am doing portfolio camps. So if you want to improve your drawing and painting skills, or you just need the extra time to work on your portfolio, think about signing up for our winter break camps, as that will be going on, and it'll be a really great time because I'm going to run through all of the fundamentals, all the technical stuff to hopefully really make sure your portfolio is looking as best as it can be. So yeah, okay, now with that out of the way, we are going to go into our monthly submissions. And the first one is by Koro over here. I thought this was like really cool because I love watercolor and I love traditional art pieces, and I feel like we don't get too many traditional paintings, so this is like a really cool one. It looks like one is done in pencil as kind of like a value study first, and then the second one is a watercolor block-in, and I think they did a pretty good job. Like, yeah, you did a really good job with putting all the right values and colors on this, you can really feel the sunlight for this one. So this one's awesome, and it's turned out really, really great. Actually, the drawing also looks like the same, and I'm kind of wondering if like you transferred it somehow, because like the car angle looks like spot on, and like where you got the trees also looks spot on. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Like I do drawing transfers all the time if I'm watercoloring, so I wouldn't be surprised if you use like a light table, or if you like transferred this somehow using like pencil transfer sheets, which are very useful if you've never used it before and you need to transfer your drawings from, like, let's say a printed piece of paper onto your watercolor sheet, or onto like a wooden panel board or something. But good job, Koro. Awesome drawing. Love to see it. The next one is by Emmy. And this one is really cool too. Very great shot. I love how everything's, I don't know, it's got a really good draw distance to it. Clouds might be a little bit distracting in terms of like that whole distance thing, but I love how everything feels very structured, cleanly laid out. I love the line work, like these dots to kind of imply shading and everything. It looks really, really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's a reference to anything. When I first saw the egg, I was like, is that Yoshi's egg? But then there's also this crab. Is it a crab hen? I don't know, but it's really awesome. I love the art style for this. Photocopied? So I kind of do that as well. Sometimes I'll do the drawing first digitally, and then I'll print it out, and then I'll use like carbon paper, like as Kevin said, or I'll just shade the back with like a 6B pencil, and then I'll just transfer it onto watercolor paper, which it's hit and miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I mean, if they printed it out and it works, it is an approach. And then lastly, this is by Hunter. I think this person said that it's an old kind of challenge that they did, where it was like a monthly architecture challenge, and they submitted a bunch, but I feel like this one stood out to me the most because it's just it's pretty ambitious. There's like a low angle where we can also see the bottom, it seems like, of the objects a little bit. But like the wooden beams and everything, really well managed, really well spaced out. Awesome scenery. Yeah. Hey, thanks. Happy that you're here and you're able to catch our stream. Yeah, that's awesome. This is just the witch's room? Oh, yeah. No, it's cool. It looks really good. Just so much detail on it. It's a lot of fun to look at. And I like that you're also playing a little bit with line variation, so that the stuff that's closer is a little bit easier to read, and the stuff that's going in the distance gets slightly thinner. Although I think I would make them a little bit thinner, especially the wood beams. But overall, like, this is an insane scene. It looks really, really good. So yeah, good job. And thank you everybody I guess everybody who submitted for the challenge. As always, again, our monthly challenges are up on our Discord, so if you want to submit and then possibly get shouted out during our stream, maybe tackle the challenge and then submit it, and then maybe you'll get a shout out. So okay, on to the main attraction. Today I am going to redraw an action scene from an action movie, and as I said, Pirates of the Caribbean won out, which honestly I'm actually kind of surprised by, because there was, Mission Impossible, superhero movie. I didn't put MCU or DC because I was like, oh, you know what, I'll leave it open so that, if people want to see certain types of movies, they can maybe comment on it. But superhero movies didn't even get that much of a vote, which I'm surprised by. And then there was Indiana Jones and Star Wars. Indiana Jones, I can kind of see why it didn't win out. Star Wars, I think came in second. So yeah, but like Pirates of the Caribbean dominated, which honestly I did not see coming. I was like, no one's gonna choose Pirates of the Caribbean. It's kind of old, and I feel like most people thought those movies weren't that great. Nobody's gonna choose them. But it won out. So I have scoured the internet to look for scenes, and these are some that I have found off of like YouTube clips that I have just screenshotted. So these are the ones I am going to be offering here, and I don't know if anybody can like, if there's a way for people to vote, but I was kind of like, oh, you know, people can kind of vote for which one they want me to draw. So maybe I'll write A, B, C, and D. I can do a poll. Can I do it, or can the mods do it? I don't know. I've never done that. I've never done a poll before. Let me see. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. I don't see where I can do a poll. Mods, are you able to do a poll? If not, that's okay. Chat, you can just, I guess, type in which one you want. And then right now I see C and B. Let's see, C and B. Oh, I guess for those who can't see it though, I do have like Jack Sparrow right here in the background, which I think is kind of funny because you got our two main characters up front and center, and then Jack's kind of just in the back over there. So he is there. I try to get all the ones where the main character is kind of like the focus of the fight scenes. So yeah, C, B, D. No A. Nobody wants A. Okay. Oh wait, yeah. It looks like B. B is kind of the one that people want. Okay. I was kind of also kind of feeling that too, like either B or C was kind of like my go-to, because this is a pretty good establishing wide environmental shot, but then this one, I just love how Davy Jones looks, like that expression, and then Jack Sparrow also just doing like this, that hand gesture is pretty funny. Yeah. Is it B? I guess maybe we're going with B. Looks like C is more dramatic. Yeah, also C would be way more easier for me to paint. But yeah, let's see. B. Everybody's going for B. Let's see. I'm just gonna like manually count it. 3, 4. I'm into C, to be honest. I feel like it's pretty neck and neck between C or B right now. We'll do a coin flip. Gonna do coin flip. Let's see. The coin flip. Coin flip generator. Heads. We'll put this as heads. And then we'll put this as tails. And let's see what Google gives us. Up, it's heads. Okay. We're going with B. We're going with B. C would be much easier, but maybe next time. Another time we'll do C. Okay, let's just check these all off. I guess I'm gonna have to make my screen a little wider, because I wanna be able to fit the the image onto the screen, so it's a little bit easier for me to paint on. Yeah. Google coin flip is almost all. Really? Is it actually? That's interesting. I rarely ever use the head coin flip thing, so it's kind of funny. Let's see. Just gonna do this, and I'm gonna bucket fill it. So this is actually how I do background studies sometimes. Where is the bucket? Here's the bucket. And so this way I get the ratio kind of correct for the most part. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but this way I can do it kind of properly in a sense. And then I'll just paint inside of this square basically. So let's see, background. No, we'll just make a new layer. Just put this at the bottom. I'm gonna lock this, and I'm going to make. I'm gonna make it a little bit. I'm gonna make it, say, this gray in the background, and then this is going to be. We'll make it a darker. Actually, yeah, we'll make it a lighter one. Just gonna paint. Actually, clipping group. Hey, there we go. Okay, so now basically anything that I paint will stay inside this rectangle. This way it's nice and clean. Whoops. And yeah, I don't know if we really needed to go all this way for it, but this is what I'm gonna do. Makes it nice and simple for me, hopefully. But yeah. A real coin? Okay, well, Joe Road, I don't have a real coin in front of me. I don't even have anything I could flip in front of me, actually. Yeah, but... Hello, Nibu. And, okay, we're gonna start. Now, I feel like there's a bunch of different ways that I could go about doing this. There's the figure drawing aspect of it. Part of me I'm like... kind of wanted to do like caricature versions of the setup, but I don't know, not too sure. Okay, well, we're just gonna go into it, and if I was doing this as an environmental background scene, I would actually paint it all out first. Actually, you know what, maybe I will do that. We will go ahead and do that. So let's see. I like this brush. This is kind of like my go-to paint brush. So I'm going to start with this maybe. And it is a green color. It's like a green turquoisey kind of color. I'm not going to worry too much about the accuracy of the color necessarily. I'm just going to try to block it in. Just going to block it in, and so that I cover everything. And you can see the reference picture is like pretty small, so I'm not like zooming in, and I also am keeping everything pretty large. So, yeah. Give me a sec. Just gonna paint that, and there we go. Oops. Has anyone watched all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies? I feel like I've never watched all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Oh, and also for copyright reasons, I would play the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack while I am painting this, but for obvious reasons, can't do that. But, you know, if you want to listen to Pirates of the Caribbean while I'm painting Pirates of the Caribbean, feel free to do so. I'm actually listening to the score on Spotify while I'm doing this. It is an awesome soundtrack. Like, I occasionally listen to it pretty free. That's a weird jumble of words. I occasionally sometimes listen to it every now and then. But it's a great score. You know what surprises me is that for the longest time I thought it was all by Hans Zimmer, but it's actually not. It's by this guy named Klaus Badelt. He kind of did the foundation of the score for the first movie. So he did the first movie, and if you listen to the first movie's score, that's essentially what everybody remembers the Pirates theme to be. But I feel like everybody, or at least I did, I was like, oh yeah, it's all by Hans Zimmer. Yeah, Hans Zimmer's the one who did it all. And it's like, oh wait, it's actually by this other guy. Yeah. Light teal mixed with dark teal. Yeah, man. Looks like we're covering backgrounds and action today. That's true. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I just kind of want to block it in so I know how much of it we're drawing. Dang, Kevin, you watched all of them? I think I've watched all of them too, but I can't remember because the last few are pretty bad. So I don't even know if I actually have watched all of them, but I feel like I have. Let's see. We'll go with pretty black. I know a lot of people prefer the first one, but I don't know why in my memory I like the second one and third one quite a lot. Maybe because like those are the ones I owned on DVD. So I've always been like, yeah, I love Dead Man's Chest and At World's End. I know it's really convoluted, but I don't know why. In my mind I'm like, yeah, I like those movies are awesome. But the last few ones, yeah, those ones aren't that good. The last few are pretty bad. Your screen is blurry? Oh, is it? Oh. Yeah, my internet might have lowered for you, so I find that like YouTube sometimes, even though you like manually click the settings, it'll still sometimes adjust it for you, which is a little annoying. It's a little annoying. Oh, really? That's so strange. Yeah. Well, this you just realized this was a live stream? Oh, yeah, we do also premiere our videos too, so that's kind of funny if you're like, wait, he's reacting to the chat. That never happens. That's funny. Well, welcome, Johnny, to our stream. Hope you're enjoying it. It's gonna be a pretty chill one today since we're not animating this time. Since I usually am the one that's here animating, and this time we're just gonna be doing an action scene. Although, as Joanna's pointed out, I'm also essentially at this point doing a painting, an environmental background painting, which in a way I would say is appropriate for the theme since we're doing background as our monthly challenge this month. So yeah, let's see the background. Maybe we'll push the background into a little bit more of the green side, and I'm gonna tone it down. Ooh, that is way too bright. And maybe something like this. We'll see how this goes. Actually, let me make a new layer. What? Why is it not showing up? Oh, jokes. Oh, I can't. No. What? Oh. Oh, it's because this. Okay. Let me see. Where's the magic wand? If I delete that, does that work? It does work. Nice. Okay. Krita does have kind of like a clipping approach to it. So if you're kind of wondering like how I'm able to do this within the screen, basically, if you remember way in the beginning, I basically filled in the entire canvas. So this lighter gray is my canvas. It's pretty wide, the one that we're working with. And what I did is I right-clicked it, and if you go to group, you can click on this, which is quick clipping group. And so every layer that's on top, like these ones, you'll notice that the A is crossed out. And so basically now anything that I paint on these two layers will stay within the confines of this square over here. So that's kind of basically what I did. And so, yeah. No, an old computer. Oh man. Yeah. Dude, I've had my Mac for like, I think at this point it's gonna be like 9 years soon. It's crazy how long I've had my Mac for, and it still runs in a way pretty good. It's crazy to me. I'm like, how are you still alive? Although the battery dies like really quick, so it has its ups and downs. Okay, this one I'm gonna erase some of these pieces out. And if you're kind of like, oh, curious about like painting or like background painting, this is kind of how I do it. I approach it in very broad strokes, even though I know this is an action sequence that I should be getting to soon. I kind of just want to set the stage essentially before we start putting in the characters and everything. But yeah. We'll see. We'll make this a little bit darker. Put in the... Oh man, the what is it? Davy Jones theme with the organ. Oh, it's one of my favorites. That score is so good. And it's like playing right now on Spotify. If you guys don't know that score, have never heard it before, it's so good. It is so good. I mean, the score in general for Pirates of the Caribbean is like really good. So if you've never listened to it, you are missing out on an amazing sound score. Also, this fight scene is also just absolutely insane. Like, I remember watching it as a kid, and it's just like, how, like, who imagined and like thought of this like scenario? It's crazy. More saturated. Maybe that's too saturated. It's like, I think a bunch of crashed ships here, or at least it should be. Or like the ships are crashing and everything, and things are getting blown up. So I think that's what all the debris is happening. That's what's going on and everything. I'm not worrying about like the gradation or everything. I'm just kind of like roughly blocking it in. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so we got a kind of like a rough blocking of the scene. Guess I should have catch with later videos. Nah, I think it's good. It's good. It's been a whole since I could join a stream. Oh, well, hello, caller. Glad you could join us. Glad you're able to catch a stream. I like when they do the scary music. Yeah, the scary stuff's so good. And the Pirates is not an exception. Yeah. Bye to see it before I do gesture studies. Hey, don't worry. I mean, like right now I'm about to do... let me add a little bit of the highlights on this kind of steering wheel. Or, I actually don't know what this thing is called, but it's kind of like a steering wheel. But, yeah. Yeah, all our stuff is there. Thank you, Kevin and Joanne for covering the bases and everything. Bring it back to blue. So I feel like this is like a speed run. It's like, can I do a painting study in 2 hours? 2-hour painting study. Can I do it? Okay. We'll say this is kind of it for... I say that's it, and then I start working on another piece. But it should be done. Also, like the Kraken theme. Oh, that theme is so good too. Ship's wheel on the helm. Yeah. I don't remember what this thing is. They rotate it and it like sends this like shockwave in the water. And then it calls the Kraken. Like this thing. This thing on the screen. Like they rotate it and then it sends like this giant boom and it calls the Kraken. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start drawing the characters now. Now the character is more of the focus, so we'll see how it goes in terms of how well I can capture it in the scenery. It's a cracking call. Actually, okay, so I was thinking about this. I wonder if anybody knows, is the wheel on the ship just called the steering wheel? Because I feel like it's not called a steering wheel. That sounds like absolutely crazy of me to be like, is the steering wheel on a ship called a steering wheel? Because I'm kind of like, I feel like that's not the case. Part of me is like, there's no way the steering wheel's called the steering wheel on a ship. It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel like that's what it would be called. It's just called the ship's wheel? Really? Okay. Okay, Kevin. I'll take your word for it. You haven't steered me wrong so far. Yeah, you like that one, huh? Yeah. It's pretty good. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is just map out roughly the proportions of Jack Sparrow over here. Kind of just getting a rough feel for how he looks and how he's kind of moving. I guess what doesn't really help is that this is it was screenshotted. I screenshotted this on on YouTube, so it's pretty compressed and everything. And there's probably also like motion blur, which means that the body also ends up getting like maybe trimmed, possibly, and that makes it kind of like means that like some things might be a little bit inaccurate in terms of like the proportions and whatnot, so I might have to like compensate and figure it out and whatnot. Dude, it's so tempting to just hum the Pirates of the Caribbean theme while I'm trying this, but like probably maybe shouldn't. Working on the monthly challenge? Hey, maybe if you get it done today, maybe Iggy might give you a shout out. Or actually, maybe they might not do it tomorrow because it's gonna be Faye and Iggy. I believe it's the OC challenge. So they might not do it because they might not have enough time. But you know what? If you do it, you might get a shout out sometime in the future. Possibly. Maybe. This feels like a dance. Like the way I've drawn Jack Sparrow, it looks more like he's doing a dance. He's like, hey. Also, I love these movies. A lot of people are like, yeah, what is it? The Fast and the Furious are their like go-to action movies, and I'm like, I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie before, and I know they're supposed to be kind of just trashy action films, but I feel like that's what Pirates of the Caribbean is for me. Like I know these movies aren't that great, but I don't know, they're just fun to watch. But I think part of it is just like I grew up with them so much that they're kind of just ingrained in my head and everything. He does dance a lot. He does dance. Wait, does he dance? Well, I guess in a way he does dance, sure. I made in a game? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Tiller was basically just a horizontal bar that was directly on top of the rudder. Oh, you mean like the like I know that for like a boat, like the rudder kind of thing. But is that how it is for why am I choosing all these weird colors? Okay, so now we're gonna do Davy Jones here in the back, who also has this amazing expression. And hopefully, let's see if I'm able to draw. You know what this feels like? It feels like when those movies get the directors to be like, hey, can you commentate on the movies? And like, so yeah, in this scene, I wanted Davy Jones to be like, you know, framed in the shot and everything. Jack Sparrow's dancing away. What is that? Oh, that's a sword. Okay. I know the proportions are a little, the scaling's a little off right now. Gonna worry about that later. Don't worry about it. It's gonna factor in later. So if you're kind of like, hey, the scaling's off, don't worry about it. Don't look at it. Pay it no mind. It's gonna be a little inaccurate in general, just because, you know, I'm redrawing this and I'm just eyeballing it. So it's gonna be a little off in general. Hey, what is that? Oh, that's his hand. Ah, that's his crab hand. A commentary? Yeah, I love watching those too. I love just any kind of behind the scenes stuff, you know? Like as a kid, I would just watch, what was it, Ice Age? Because we had the Ice Age DVD, and I just watch the behind the scenes for Ice Age. It's kind of, it was like pretty interesting. I don't know. I just remember like it was Christmas holiday, got home early from school, put on Ice Age, and then just watched the behind the scenes for Ice Age. Gonna fill a jar of dirt. Oh my. Let's see. I feel like right now how it is looks pretty good. I guess the hand should be a bit bigger, maybe. There are some things I could do to make sure the scaling is proper and all the proportions are proper, but I'm just like, nah. We're not gonna worry about it. We'll worry about it later. Just gonna eyeball it. Eyeball. Although I will say, man, the third movie does get super convoluted. I forgot what video I was watching where a guy was like, try explaining the plot of Pirates of the Caribbean, and you will find out that the second and third movie are kind of almost impossible to explain what the plot are, because if you try to explain the plot for the second and third movie, you end up just describing the entire movie because there kind of is no plot to it. It's just a bunch of people running around and chasing one another, and they all develop kind of different objectives as the movie goes on. Oh, I just realized his hat is just so blended in the background. I was like, oh, he's wearing like an asymmetrical hat, but he's not. But yeah, the guy was just explaining how the movies are so convoluted, and they are. It is kind of funny though if you ever try to think about like what the story is for the movies, and if you try to explain them, like just try to think about what are the movies about and try to summarize it. It's kind of hard because there's just so much going on in those movies. Present, exactly. That's a problem for future me to figure out. You know, gotta jaw dirt. There's a story. Yeah, there's a story. What? I'm just here for the pirates and that amazing soundtrack. I didn't know I was supposed to pay attention to the story of Pirates of the Caribbean. Also, if we end up doing this again, does anybody have any like suggestions on what other action movies I could draw? Cuz I was actually kind of thinking about it. Either it might not like, you know, it might not work for stream, like it's like the rating is kind of hot, it goes out of our terms of service kind of a deal, or it's a movie I've never watched in general, or it's like, oh, it's not really an action movie. So I don't know, I actually had some trouble figuring out what to draw, like what movies to draw from, because I realized that a lot of the action movies I like, I don't think we can do them on stream as an action film. So yeah. Tomb Raider, I was thinking about Tomb Raider. Man, that movie is so janky. Kevin, have you seen Tomb Raider? the the chandelier fight scene. Oh my goodness! If no one's ever watched Tomb Raider before, just go watch the first one at least, because it's so goofy and such an over the top movie. It's ridiculous. Indiana Jones. I did put up Indiana Jones, so nobody voted for it. You know what? Let me check what the, let's see what the poll was really quick. Because I was honestly surprised. It was 63% Pirates of the Caribbean, which honestly I was not expecting. 8% Indiana Jones. Mission Impossible being the lowest, I wasn't surprised by. Star Wars being second. I'm actually kind of surprised Star Wars is second. I thought a superhero film would maybe go neck and neck with Pirates of the Caribbean, but dude, Pirates, apparently people love Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh my goodness. Spy Kids. How'd you know, Kevin? How'd you... Oh, Inception would have been really good. I don't know. Does Jurassic Park count as an action movie? Because I was also thinking like maybe Back to the Future. But I don't know. Does those count? Inception, maybe. Inception might have been a cool one. Especially that hallway chase scene. That could have been like actually pretty cool. But I don't know. There's no action. Okay, but it's different. I don't like if you go like, do you consider Jurassic Park an action movie? I don't know. I love how tell me there's no action. There is action. Inception would have been good. Jurassic Park is it's a horror movie. What are you talking about, Kevin? Jurassic Park is a full-on horror movie. It's about people trapped on an island being hunted by dinosaurs. But it's definitely it was. I mean, as a kid, that what is that? That lion lizard dinosaur, the one that Newman encounters. As a kid, that scene freaked me out. That was such a scary scene for me as a kid. Still lives rent-free, clearly, in my head. Let me see what time. We got about an hour and 15. Should be good enough to do some, like, cleanups, I think. I believe. What's called Psy Action. The Forbidden Kingdom? Oh, why does that sound so familiar? Is that Jackie Chan movie? Oh, we could have done some Oh, we could have done like Rush Hour. Oh, I can't believe I forgot about that. We could have done Rush Hour, I guess. We could have done like Shanghai, whatever that movie one with Will call it no. What's his name? Owen Wilson. The one with Owen Wilson. Yeah. Could have done that. Yeah, I don't know why my mind was just blanking when I was like, okay, action movies. What are some action movies? And then my brain was just like, don't know. What are some action movies? Can't think of any. And I was just like, wait, I love action movies. Why can't I think of any? But Inception's a good one. That would be awesome to like redraw and everything. Especially that hallway scene. That would be really cool. Or we just draw Leonardo DiCaprio trying to fit inside of a hallway. Inside of an alley. We could do that for 2 hours. Draw Leonardo DiCaprio struggling to fit inside a very clearly not that wide hallway. Bunch of Jackie Chan. We could do that. We could put a bunch of Jackie Chan movies in there. Let's see, see what happens. Oops. Oh, you know what? It's so jokes because I did the sequence for it. I could have done Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like we even did a whole like sequence on it like a while ago. I can't believe I never bothered to be like, yeah, let's just do that. Let's just redraw Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Why didn't I go for that? Although I don't know if people would have voted for that. You know, like how many people actually know of the movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon that it would like they would vote for it. Because see, Kevin, I don't think we can do Kill Bill. I'm there with you. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind doing that. I love that movie, but I don't know if we could do that on stream. Yeah, oh yeah. Comedy, lot of slapstick comedy in that movie. Yeah, for sure, for sure. We could do oh, we could have done Home Alone. Home Alone's a really good action movie. It's Christmas too. You know, we could have done Harry Potter. If Jurassic Park is a action movie, then Harry Potter is also action movie. Gotta go. Okay, bye. Color, I don't know how to say your name, but thanks for joining. Glad you can catch us for a little bit. I'm trying to think of like all the ridiculous movies that came out. It's like why could you know, man, if only you were there to help me brainstorm action movies, because now I'm going like, oh, we could have done like um the Hunger Games, maybe. And we could have done like that's such a weird pose over here. But we could have done like a lot of those like YA novel movies. That could have like kind of worked. Mm. You know, while I'm drawing him doing this, all I can imagine is you know the it's from that you know that cartoon show. I don't know if anybody's gonna know what I'm referring to. Kevin, I'm hoping you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, oh my goodness, I can't believe you got that. Holy. That's pretty, that's crazy. I was like, no one's gonna get my horrible impression of that. Also, I'm kind of like, I bet no one on in the stream has like watched that. That is it still going? I feel like it is still going, but I'm just like, I don't think anyone's is like watching it unless you grew up with it on TV, kind of thing. Is it an amazing? Is it? I don't know about that. I feel like was pretty off with it. Did they really? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if like because I wanted to do a poll for which image people wanted to vote for, but I'm like, I don't know how to do that on YouTube. Oh, engage. Oh, oh my goodness. I see it now. Oh my goodness. I see. Okay. Okay, well now I know. I did not see that plus sign. I don't know why it didn't occur to me. It was the plus sign, and then I could make a poll. Okay, for next time, next time. Now I know. Now I know where the poll is. Really? Dang. You know, maybe you sound like the Leela. You should do the voice acting. Do some voice acting. I do learn something every day, Joanne. Yeah. Yeah, we could have done Home Alone. Home Alone would have been fun. I was just watching, was it Willem Patrick? He did a video on how to analyze movies, and he used the whole entire Home Alone to convey his point, and I thought that was pretty funny. So I guess that's why it's like in my mind, but it didn't occur to me to use it when thinking about which movie to do. But yeah. Like it's the same thing with Goonies. Like I don't think I would put Goonies as an action movie, but there's action in Goonies. And it's the same thing with like Back to the Future. But I don't think I would put those as action movies. How okay, Kevin. It's like you just learned how about you didn't know? Wow. Words to live by, eh? If you come out at the other end of the tunnel and you didn't learn anything, well now you know nothing. 4 to 5. I did know. And I know that they made it like a remake, and I know that it was absolutely horrible. Or at least that's what I heard. I didn't watch it, but it's what I heard. I'm gonna move this over just a little bit. You know, I don't like love the Home Alone movies, but I feel like it's because they kept playing them on like YTV back in the day. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know YTV is still around, but like I don't know how like what they do anymore. Like do they play movies still? But man, back it's crazy now thinking about like how it's just whatever was on TV. So it's just like if YTV decides we're playing Home Alone, it's like okay, I guess I'm watching Home Alone. Got nothing else to do during the weekend, so I guess we're watching Home Alone for the rest of the day, kind of thing. But now it's like nah, it's whatever's on stream. Like I mean, like on streaming services and whatnot. But yeah, I never liked Home Alone, but it's like it's because it was whatever was on TV, so it's like yeah, we'll just watch that. Do they actually only play? There's no way they only play SpongeBob. That's that's too much SpongeBob. What program? I'm using Krita right now. Yeah. The more you know me, yeah. Actually, I feel like I did Davy Jones pretty good. It's just Jack Sparrow because he's so complicated. Okay. Gonna try to work on his face now. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of tricky because it is like pretty obscured. Just gonna draw him like, I know it's kind of hard to see. Don't worry. Well, and it's gonna be stylized just because, you know, not gonna have enough time to do a full-on Jack Sparrow face drawing. But that was pretty good. We'll we'll leave it like that for now. Let's see. Davy Jones. Davy Jones. Let's see. Something like this. Where his, I love the design of Davy Jones. He just looks so cool. Let's see. Mouth. Ah. Okay, the mouth is kind of a little bit too much. Alright. I know it doesn't look like that exactly, but we're just mapping it out. Just feeling it out, you know, getting a feel for what he might look like. Something like that, maybe. 4 to 6 SpongeBob, 9 to 10 SpongeBob. Actually, man. Like, I feel like SpongeBob back then only played, was it like right after school? So it was like, what, 4 to 6, I believe, is when they would only play SpongeBob. If they're playing it all day, that's unfortunate. But I guess to be fair, there's not a lot of. I guess streaming's just changed everything. I don't even know what they're allowed to play anymore because everything is just on streaming now. So it's like they got nothing. They got nothing to play, which is unfortunate. And okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna block these guys in. Let me see. Or maybe I'll just block it with this. Make it more blue. Yeah, they're very limited, which I can understand. It's just unfortunate. It's a bummer. It's like totally understandable in this current streaming climate. It's funny because like I'm streaming, but I mean like, you know, TV streaming is what I'm talking about. We have indie animation. Yeah, for sure. I actually haven't seen too many. It's, you know what's crazy though is the whole Lackadaisy one, because I read the comics when I was in like high school, and then to see that they got an opportunity to do an animation, I was like, dang, good on them. Good on, you know, good on the creator for getting a chance to um make an animated series. Kind of like Scott Pilgrim, you know, they got the live action, but then now Now the creator gets a chance to do all these kind of different versions of his creation, which is pretty cool. So I didn't really need to. Well, I guess no. I'm gonna be drawing the character afterwards. I'm just filling it in so when I draw it after, it's gonna be easier to figure out where things are. I also wasn't sure if like we should do animated stuff. So I was kind of juggling the idea of doing Demon Slayer, maybe, but I wasn't too sure. I was a little like, let's just keep it live action for now. You know, if we get another chance to do these kind of like action redraw streams, then I don't know. Well, maybe we could do some anime redraws, which would be cool. We could do like Avatar or like Korra or Voltron, maybe. I don't know. What else is there? Oh, Dragon Prince. Dude, Dragon Prince, that new season came out, and I was just like, I don't remember anything that happens. I wanted to catch up with it and watch it, but then as I was watching it, I was like, I don't remember anything that happened. Which sucks, because the show is good. Just Star Blazers? Oh. I've never heard of that before. I mean, keep it in mind for the poll next time, I guess. We get another shot to do this. What are people doing? Oh, hey, yeah. Did upload that not too long ago. It's a very quick breakdown version of our live stream. So in a way, yeah, it's kind of like the stream, but then trim down all the fat, I guess, so to speak. And so if you don't have the time to watch the entire stream as I'm like talking about certain things while doing it, yeah, for sure, check out the video that we did. You're gonna we got about like a little under an hour left, so I'm gonna use that remaining time to just draw. Focus on the characters. Yeah. Speed Racer? Oh my god. I never watched the anime or the live action one. That's crazy. Oh, we could have done Tron. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot about that. Dude, I love Tron. Can't believe I forgot about Tron. Ooh, it's a bit too big. We'll use this brush again. Actually, let me see what his face looks like. Okay. It's like, I gotta focus. Drawing the face now. Can't talk while drawing the face. We're just doing it blue so that I can see it clearly. Oh, I did not watch the movie. I actually, it's weird because, or I don't think, well, it's not that it's weird, but I think it's interesting because FNAF came out when I was in university or around that time, so I never grew up with FNAF, or it kind of was like right outside of my like, I guess, interest by the time it came out. So I never got into it. It was never really my thing. Um, but I heard people like the movie. I don't know. I did not see the movie. Is it good? Does it live up to the fandom? Not scary enough, but still good nonetheless. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, I know like like it probably looked like an alright movie, but I feel like it's a movie made more for the fans than anything. I'm gonna draw very shocked eyebrows, I guess. He actually doesn't have that big of a mustache, I realize. It's you like this compression, the compression. I can't tell really what's happening with his face. Yeah, jokes. Yeah, I'm like, Elms. Oh my good, Lord of the Rings. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Lord of the Rings would have been good. Next time. Next time. Next time. That would have been a good one. He's looking very spooky. uh, well, I'm trying. I'm trying. I feel like I should have probably done maybe more, a better breakdown of his face. Hmm. Let's go about it again. I'm just gonna like maybe extend his face out a little bit more. I'm not gonna rely on the underdrawing. I think I'm just gonna rely more on. Can rely actually. Can rely more on just restructuring it more so. While I eat my cereal, redrawing it in a more style way. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, we really only had 2 hours for me to do like a quick breakdown of it, so I can't really go too much into it. So that's why I'm kind of trying to figure out like how to approach this, trying to get a feel for what I can do with this scenery, because it's kind of, it is a little bit hard to jam pack it all in 2 hours. So yeah. I feel like I'm having trouble with his eyes. So eyes are always gonna be the tricky part. I can see the chat. I know, Kevin. Because on one hand, I'm also kind of like, oh, I should make him look like Jack Sparrow, but at the other hand, on the other hand, I'm also like, but I can't really tell what he looks like based off of the photo. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a rut here. Just trying to figure out like what he should maybe look like. Just go with the. It's kind of funny because like the whole background's kind of realistic-ish, so to speak. And then I'm like, you know, we're going all cartoony. We're going full cartoony at this point. See how this goes. Why not? Yeah, exactly. Why not? Let's just go. I mean, it's already kind of goofy. It's already a little like, you know, might as well. Really? That's wait, why the mouse cursor? That's so interesting. Like I don't have a cat, so I wouldn't know the behavioral patterns that cats might have. That's pretty funny. Oh, is it kind of like a mouse? Okay, I just realized the pun. Just it looked like like a real life mouse. You know how like cats are very attracted to like moving toys, like the small toys and whatnot. Is that why? She likes it because it looks like a mouse, but literally it's also a mouse. And it's the One Piece pirate logo. Oh, oh, interesting. Just gonna readjust this. uh, jokes. Like a random rubber man. Oh. Oh, did you guys like the live action? Like, what did you guys think of it? I haven't watched it yet, but curious as to like any One Piece fans here. Did you guys watch it? And if you did, was it good? I feel like, you know, he has enough money, doesn't he? He's basically just made one thing his entire life, and it's just been One Piece. I know we just spent like a whole like 10 minutes working on that. I realized though that I don't think it'll work considering that we had a background. So I guess, you know, I'm gonna backtrack. Just gonna treat this as a background study, basically. Just gonna go for it. Yeah. Can you imagine how I felt when I was working on my thesis? Oh my, I did that traditionally, by the way. So like I'd be staying up late doing these paintings only for me to realize like, oh, I bit off way more than I can chew. And then I would like have to reapproach it completely. It was not great. Gonna go with green here. So here's the, I guess since we're pivoting, we're treating this more of like a background action study now. Since the whole tint of this sequence is pretty much on the teal greeny kind of side, any kind of like skin tone is going to appear more gray than usual. So, you know, I'm gonna be kind of leaning a little bit more on in that direction. Might be a little bit too light, but it's fine. Oh yeah, I'm just starting to read the manga. Okay, I'm not just starting. Like I'm like halfway there basically. I have I think about 500 more chapters to go basically, and I'm caught up. So yeah, I'm kind of getting there bit by bit. It's it's a long it is a long endeavor, so it's taking some time. But it's I'm just gonna say that it's all right for now. I was never the biggest fan of it when it came out. Like I was more Bleach and Naruto, so it never really was my thing. But I'm kind of just doing it because my friend really recommended it. He loves One Piece, and he's been like, "You gotta read it," and I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll read it." And so I'm giving it a shot. Yeah, but like overall, I think it's all right. Um, I think it's hard for me to really like it since I kind of grew up with like Naruto and Bleach, so I've kind of already gone through a lot of the basic shonen tropes, and so I guess rereading One Piece, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's a bit much. It's a bit much considering like I like understand all these tropes and I've gone through it already, but it's still fine. Like it's like a fun adventure type of series and everything. You know. Yeah. Actually, that was my friend. Or okay, another another friend. He's never like read it before, and I think he watched the live action and then he started the anime actually, which I think is even crazier to go for the anime instead, because it's like that's so many hours, just hours and hours of just sitting there and watching it. I think that's kind of that's so much. I can't imagine watching like about 1,000 episodes. It's crazy. I kind of do plan on watching it. Maybe one day. I don't know. Haven't been feeling it lately for like an anime live action show. Um, this is like the same thing with Cowboy Bebop. Like I watched the anime, gave the live action a little bit of a shot, and then I just never finished it. The live action, oh my goodness, the live action of Cowboy Bebop. I like that they were trying to change some stuff up, but most of the changes I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. It's like, did we really need to make that adjustment, kind of thing? But yeah, one of the greats, Cowboy Bebop. Not the live action, I mean, but the the anime itself. One of the greats. Although if anybody's never watched Cowboy Bebop before, I would say go in with more of like an open mind because it's I remember the first time I watched it, I did not know what I was getting into, and then I was a little bit disappointed because I thought it was gonna be like a clearer, more traditional story, I guess, approach to storytelling. But it's more of like an episodic tale, and you kind of journey with these characters over time kind of thing, and it's okay, but I think it helps to go in with like the proper expectation, because I feel like Cowboy Bebop is such a high reputation that a lot of people might be like, oh, it's like the best anime ever, right? And then you watch it and it's like, what? Kind of a deal. It's like, what? Why is everybody so like, why do people love this so much? Kind of thing. Change that. Yeah, I feel like it's inevitable though. If you're gonna do a live action version of a movie, I feel like it's inevitable. It is gonna be what it is, kind of thing. Yeah. Let's see how this looks. This looks actually pretty accurate. Maybe a little bit warmer. I'll just map it down for now. It kind of looks like a little bit like puke, though. We'll see. I'm just gonna block this in, see how it registers. Yeah, I feel like that looks a little bit too much like puke. We'll just go with a very murky red skin tone. Just gonna map it down. You like how it's going? Hey, thank you, Joanne. It's I mean, I wish I pivoted a little bit sooner, or else I wouldn't have bothered really with too much of the drawing and focused more on treating this as kind of like a value background study. Yeah. Really? Broke the fourth wall. I feel like that kind of don't you think that kind of matches the tone of One Piece though? One Piece is pretty like goofy and pretty like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess they don't break the fourth wall in the comics, but I feel like it doesn't surprise me, I guess, if they do break the fourth wall. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna leave it for now. This is a little bit too bright, but leave it for now. This looks like a comedic take on his face, though. It's kind of jokes. Oh, it's so fantastical. That's kind of jarring. Yeah, I can. Makes sense, I think. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of hard to kind of get a feeling for like, you know, the changes that they make with the series and everything. Like you gotta change some stuff up. It's kind of, I guess, in a sense, inevitable. Which I feel like if you're a diehard fan, it's kind of disappointing because you're like, oh, I wanted to see certain moments happen or certain moments show up, only for it to be like, nah, we're not doing any of those kind of things. Yeah. You know what? I guess we'll move on to Davy Jones. Actually, let me make him a little wider. Coat. The coat a little wider. Nah. Ooh. That's too dark. Can't really quite see those things. I feel like this is like a meme. Like I've just stylized and made kind of like a, I don't know. You know those like filters people have? Those kind of jokes. Going for I guess. Yeah. I mean, live action, I feel like you can only go so far before it starts maybe pulling people out of it. Because I feel like with... Yeah, like, you know, Chopper, I'm kind of like, man, how are you guys gonna do... How are they gonna do Chopper? Of all the characters, that's a character that's gonna be hard to pull off. But it's gonna be interesting. If they can't even pull that off, they can even do it. Very difficult. I mean, I remember. I know everybody was like, "Oh wow, it looks actually not that bad." But I remember when you see what's his face, like that shark guy. I was like, "Ooh, that looks a little. I don't know about that," kind of thing. It just did not look proportional, I guess. It's like maybe the way to put it. But I guess they, in a way, they did the best that they could with, considering all the factors at play for like, how do you make a shark man look believable and also not overly goofy looking? I guess it's like you can only do so much after a certain point. It's gonna look goofy regardless, kind of thing. Yeah. I feel like you can't get away with that. Just how goofy Jack Sparrow looks is a very bizarre take on Jack Sparrow. I think him being buff in the manga makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I get that they maybe also use prosthetics for those scenes, but I don't know. It didn't play out right. It just looks weird in my opinion. I mean, I guess they did the best that they could. At least it didn't look like Secret Invasion. I don't know if anybody watched Secret Invasion, but ooh boy, that arm that everybody's been kind of making fun of. Yeah, at least, I mean, I think that at least it didn't look that bad. I think if we're gonna like compare like CG and everything. Okay, bye. Thank you for joining. Yeah. I kind of wish they, you know, I don't know how much budget they put into these shows, but I feel like they could have just went all CG for the shark guy, and that would have been like better, you know? Because I think if they, instead of just doing prosthetics and just kind of being like, yeah, we'll do it all practical, I think that shark guy is one where it's like, no, I think this would have been better if this was like, I think if this was like actual CG and you fully developed the character rather than have it be this like weird amalgamation and just looks really odd. I don't know. I don't know. Did anybody watch Secret Invasion? I feel like it started off not too bad, and then oh boy, it did not go well. Let's just put it that way, I guess. It did not go well. They spent really, was it really for One Piece? It was 17 million. Oh my, oh lord, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Yeah, I feel like, okay, if you're gonna spend that much money, I think it would have been better to have maybe gone with like a full CG version of the shark guy. Because I feel like the scale, you need to have him feel imposing and just like really intimidating. But I feel like the version we ended up getting just like, yeah, it's not it. It's just not it. Oh yeah. I mean, like right now we're talking about like TV shows and everything, Vipers. So yeah, you can, as long as it's like appropriate and it's, you know, nothing personal or anything, then yeah, feel free to ask your questions. I mean, we're just talking about like One Piece right now, so it's pretty chill, I would say. Art Envy. Oh, that's a neat one. I guess it depends on like, who you are as well. I guess everybody's going to be a little bit different. I think a little bit of art envy is okay personally because sometimes it can be a good motivation. Sometimes you see the stuff that people are making and it makes you want to do better or like once makes you want to be a better artist. Or at least that's how it is for me. Sometimes I'll see people who are, upcoming artists and I'm like, "Dang, I wish I could draw like that at that moment." But and then you kind of, I don't know. You just have to remember is like everybody does their own thing. Um, Try to just focus on what you're working on. Take it one step at a time. I don't think there's any. Well, I guess there is a rush for some people, but everybody's gonna be at a different stage when it comes to drawing as well. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, no, it's just, I think it's a good question. Everybody's gonna have a different feel and take on it. I think it's okay, but I think as long as you don't get too caught up on it and get too kind of stuck on the idea of it, I think a little bit of art envy is good because it's good motivation. At least it gets me like sometimes like, okay, I gotta work on this then. If other people are pushing that and I need to compete with that level of like in the industry, then I should also push myself to try to have that level of drawing capability as well. Sorry, I'm like drawing and talking, so I don't know if you like replied or anything, but I'll take a look at the chat shortly and whatnot. Yeah. But thanks for the question though. It's a good question. I think it's like one of those that everybody kind of has and secretly thinks about every now and then. But yeah. That's true too. Yeah, breaking down other artist's style is a good way of like kind of in a way compensating, I guess. Maybe that's not the right word, but it's like a good way to give yourself a goal to work off of if you find that you're having trouble moving away from it. Yeah, everybody has a different goal. Everybody has a different style, kind of like what Joanne is saying. I don't think there's any like need to want to copy the stuff that you see all the time or feel too caught up by it. But for me, I'm a very competitive person, I guess. So like even in school, whenever I saw people draw, I'd be like, okay, not that I'm like I'm gonna take you down. It's more of like, oh, let's see what we can, let's see what the class can come up with, kind of thing. I guess it was like healthy competition for me because it kind of makes it like makes me push myself more. And then when we all put our artwork up and everybody has their own kind of like aesthetic down, it's like, ooh, that's kind of cool that you did that. Oh man, I wish I thought of that, kind of thing. So that's how I approach it. Yeah. Being a certain stage, a certain age is largely a product of work culture. Yeah, that's true too. Learning opportunity. Yeah, that's like another way of putting it. Learning learning opportunity. Yeah. Dang it, Jack. Okay, I'm gonna. Let me see. We have about 15 minutes. I'm gonna cheat. I know. Shouldn't do this. I'm gonna eye drop the color on the screen. Okay, I was a little. Okay, I knew I was correct because I gave him a red tone, and I'm like, that's a little bit too much. I feel like I'm wrong with that. Um, so a little bit of color theory. So right now, okay, even though this is a filter, let's imagine that this was like an actual scenario that's happening where it's really cloudy, everything has kind of like this blue light to it. Um, if anything is on a red tone or red scale, you actually wouldn't see too much of it. And the reason why is because red doesn't show up on the green spectrum because it's on the opposite end of the color spectrum. So how should I put this? Let's say you have an orange object, but then you have a light bulb that's shining pure blue light. That object would probably appear kind of gray rather than orange because there's no orange in the blue spectrum, in the like orange color spectrum. And so you'll actually, it's hard to bring out the color of the actual object. So when I'm looking at this, like this scenario with Jack Sparrow over here, and everything is blue, human skin color, and especially because he's in the Caribbean, he's probably has tan skin, it's gonna be on the redder side. But because I see everything is blue and kind of in this teal side, I know, like my brain, like based off like my art knowledge and color theory, I know that it's not on the red side, so I shouldn't go with red, but I went with it anyways. But it's this very challenging section where it's probably just really, really desaturated. and I kind of have to just play around with it a little bit. Because I feel like when I put it to the yellow, it was too yellow. So I think it's more on this grayer side of things. And now it's looking a bit better. So I'm just going to do the same thing for his face. Just make it... So long story short, skin tone is red, but the lighting here is blue and teal, which means that the red is going to be more on the greener side of the color wheel, and it's going to be really, really grayed down because there's no red in the color spectrum of green. Like, the red side of the color spectrum does not show up. I know, it's very, very complex, kind of hard to go into it and really summarize it in like 2 seconds, but that's kind of the short end of it. So like you can see, even like with his hand on the over here, like this hand, even though it's lit up, so to speak, I wouldn't color it with any of the orange or red colors. I would lean more into this side of the color wheel. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like this green and yellow side of it, and I would just tone it down. That's why on my block in it's pretty like green and yellow. But I think what's tripping me up is that his face looks so, it's like so cast in shadow, and it's so like red that it's like throwing me off, because on one hand my eyes are telling me that it's like red, but then my brain is also going like, it can't be red, you know, color theory is telling you that it's not red, and I'm like, but it looks so red. So I'm like kind of just like, color theory. Also, it's like value plays a big part of it too, so it's kind of like trying to figure that out too. Okay, I think that looks a bit better. Let's see, we got about 10 minutes. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna darken up the background a little bit. Let's see. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Ooh, I don't know why, I kind of like that. We're not gonna do anything with that though. And here I'm just kind of using this like brush, this basic brush, to just kind of get things in. Maybe a bit more green, just a little bit brighter. Oh, I would have like wanted to do this one, but again, I don't know if it like we should for our stream, but I really wanted to do Mad Max as like an action, especially since the, you know, the Furiosa movie trailer just dropped. I was like, oh, I love Mad Max. Mad Max is so good. With the piece of with improving. Let's see, Joanne says, something that's been helping me is reminding myself that failure is not the end. Just because you're not happy with a piece you made today doesn't mean you didn't learn from it. Yeah. What I like to tell my students is that, especially those who are kind of very, very new to art, I just tell them that art is one of those weird few things that you actually fail upwards, in the sense that like in the moment you might feel like you're failing or that it's not turning out good, but you might not notice it in the moment, or you might not feel it in the moment, but you're actually learning something from it. Whether it might be really small or minuscule, like you'll kind of get something out of it, even though in the moment it might not feel like you are. And art is just one of those few things where you just fail upwards, so to speak. Or at least that's how I like to describe it. Because, yeah, it might not be the best drawing, but you're learning something from it and you're gaining something from it. So you fail upwards. I don't know if that's encouraging or not, but I think it's like a nice kind of funny way of putting it. failing, failing upwards. Yeah, I mean, like other stuff, I feel like if you fail, it really like you feel it. But art, even if you fail or like you mess up a drawing, you still kind of doing something up with it. So you fail upwards. Yeah. Glad you guys like that. But these are all really good questions. So such deep questions. I feel like we were talking about One Piece and anime adaptation for so long, and then you come in with so what do you guys think about all these deep art questions? Which is good. I think because we actually don't get too many of these questions, or at least I haven't. I feel like every time I'm on stream, I don't really get too frequently these type of questions, which is kind of cool to finally get. Yeah. It's destruction. Yeah, yeah. Philosophical budge today. Yeah. I think, also the funny thing is like when I visualize failing upwards, I'm just imagining someone rolling up a hill. I don't know why, but it's like you're falling down, so like when you fall down, you're rolling, but you roll upwards, you're rolling up a hill. But I think because you're like crashing and rolling, you don't realize you're rolling upwards. You're moving up, you're progressing, but you just can't feel it because you're tumbling and falling down and all that kind of stuff. So that's how I imagine it. If you're Jack and Jill going up a hill, you're falling up the hill and everything. Glad we could help though. Yeah. Nah. It's good. I like it. I like the. If I go quiet, it's not because of you. Don't worry. It's because I'm just trying to focus since we only have like 7 minutes basically. So yeah. But it's good. I like those questions. I like these kind of more introspective, so to speak, questions. We don't get too many of them usually, so it's kind of nice to change up the pace a little bit. Yeah, this is so much better than I think if I had went for the kind of stylized drawing version of it, Joanne, because I don't think that one was working very well. Where I was trying to draw it. I think I was just trying to tackle too much, as always. If this is your first time on our stream, I tend to kind of give myself these like very ambitious, let's say, challenges during our stream, and then I kind of end up partway through being like, oh shoot, I should have probably maybe done something a little bit easier. But I wanted to pick a cool scene, and I like Davy Jones, so I was like, yeah, let's draw Davy Jones. And then, but then it's like, yeah, it's the scene where they're fighting on a ship in a hurricane. What could go wrong? So, yeah. Oh, wow, Joanne, no, you're too kind, too kind. Masterpiece in 2 hours. No, nothing like that. You know what also helps is that I'm just listening to the Pirates of the Caribbean score right now too. Hey, Joe Road, thank you so much. Always love seeing you here, man. Always donating, giving us your support. Really appreciate it. It's awesome of you. Yeah, like in the past few weeks, I haven't seen you, and I was like, "Where's Joe Road at? Where's where's he at?" But hope you're doing well, man. so true. Big W Joe, yeah. Something about the brushstrokes make me feel also real but vibrant. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think it's well, in the scenery it's raining, so I'm kind of, and it's like there's just so much going on. There's no way I can like accurately capture honestly all this chaos that's happening on the screen. So I'm kind of just playing up the chaos and the texture and everything. But yeah, I'm also kind of liking it. You know, as a quick like 2 hour study, this honestly is not too bad. I know, you know, I'm puffing myself up, you know, but honestly, it's turning out not too bad. Yeah, I think, let me see what happens if I add a little bit of highlight here. I feel like this is definitely way too dark. But I love doing these too, like these kind of stylized studies, because, you know, it's not meant to be super, I don't treat them like they're meant to be super accurate. They're most meant to be kind of like these impressionistic, abstract takes on the kind of whatever it is that we're looking at. And so having it be a bit chaotic, I think adds to the texture of it and everything. It's giving the impression of Zoidberg. Hey, yeah. Honestly, you know, I'm pretty happy with the way Davy Jones looks. He looks he looks a little like he's seen better days, you know. Jack Sparrow's giving him his run for his money, you know. I feel like I should put a little bit more detail in. Actually, let me see. It's here. Should put a little bit more detail on these areas. Also, if anybody wants to like follow along or like understand which brush I'm using Ink 8 Sumi, and then I lower the opacity. I actually like doing a lot of painting studies with this brush because it has a built-in texture to it that I quite like. And then if you lower the opacity and slowly build up off of it, I feel like it's actually not too bad. I kind of wish I went a little bit darker with the block in at first, but oh well, whatever. Yeah, me too. Exactly. Sometimes we need to puff ourselves so as long as it's not hurt. Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Gotta, you know, a healthy dose of puff up is good. Ooh, actually, I kind of messed up because I think I should have made this a little bit darker, or at least a little bit more saturated. Ooh, what time is it? Oh, going over a little bit. But thank you guys for joining us. I'm gonna try to just work on this a little bit more, just add a little bit more finishing touches to it. But thank you everybody for joining us. I know this one kind of took a few changes and turns here and there as we were working on this piece, but I feel like it's kind of coming together. It's like a pretty cool impressionistic piece. So yeah, and you know, like the atmosphere is pretty cool, and the lighting I feel like I did a not too bad of a job on, if I say so myself, with the lighting and everything. Is it perfect? No, but you know, it's all right. It's good. It's good. It really feels like they're kind of in this chaotic mess of a situation. So it's pretty cool. I trusted the process. Oh my goodness, Joanne, do you wait? Do you know? Okay, someone told me that's a sports reference. Is Joanne a avid sports enjoyer? Joanne watches basketball. But yes, trust the process. Yeah, it turned out pretty good. I like this. Yeah, I might work on just like a little bit more, and then I'll you guys will see it on Discord and on social media. So yeah, Joanne is secretly a sports guru. She knows all the ins and outs of baseball and basketball. She trusts the process, guys. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Just gonna have a few closing statements before we end the stream. If you don't know who we are Wing Canvas. We are, yes, as you can see, a YouTube channel, but we're also a online art school. So if you want to learn how to draw, how to paint, how to do anime, or even animate, definitely check out our website, as we have a lot of different classes and opportunities for you guys to learn and grow and kind of one up your art skills. And we provide not in person, but like direct and personal feedback. So if any of that sounds good to you, definitely check out our website, as we offer quite a good amount of art classes. And if you enjoyed our stream and what we do here on YouTube, like and subscribe. This is a great way to help support us, as well as keep up to date as to all the videos that we upload and any of our upcoming streams. And for tomorrow, as a little bit of like a tease, Faye and Iggy are going to be drawing your OCs that some of you guys have submitted, so you have that to look forward to. And if you want to support us further, we do have Patreon, and there are some pretty cool perks, such as members only chat. You'll get our art files from our streams, as well as some of them from our classes. You'll get some of our recordings from classes as well as emote badges and emotes. So if that sounds good, and or if you just want to support us further, you can check us out on Patreon. And we also have, as I mentioned before, social media, so Discord, Instagram, Facebook, all 9 yards. We post our drawings there from our streams, as well as some of our drawings from classes, as well as announcements for discounts on classes, as well as upcoming videos and streams. So if you want to stay up to date with what we do here on YouTube, as well as on our website, definitely join our servers and follow us on social media. And one last plug. We do have a winter break camp running from December 27th to 29th, and then January 2nd to the 5th. Both me and Iggy are running them. Iggy's running the digital and cartooning and anime camps, whereas I'm mostly focusing on portfolio. So for me, it's really just drawing, painting techniques, as well as helping those who are trying to apply to university or even high school and they need to make a portfolio. So if you want that extra time and that extra little bit of help as you kind of develop your art skills or need help preparing your portfolio, definitely check the winter break camps, as that would be a great way to kind of keep you up to pace in terms of keeping up with your portfolio. And that's kind of it from me. Thank you everybody for joining. Nobody else donating. It's just you, Joe Road, and we appreciate it so much. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of it. Honestly, pretty happy with how this turned out. It's pretty cool. I will, as I said before, I will continue kind of working on it a little bit more. Maybe just cleaning up some of the background stuff, just blending it in a little bit. And I think maybe cleaning up Jack Sparrow, as I think the skin color is still a little bit too bright. So I might tone that down a little bit. But then keep an eye out for it, because it will be posted. And then you guys can kind of zoom in and really take a look at it. So yeah, support the arts. Thank you, Joe Road. Yeah, support the arts. But yeah, it turned out gorgeous. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for your support as always. And Joanne. Thank you, Joanne and Kevin, for moderating chat and just keeping me company as I stream. Always appreciate you guys. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, this is it did turn out pretty good. Very cool art and stream. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Viper. And thank you for everybody else who joined in and stayed on. And that will be it. So I will be signing off. Bye, guys. Thank you for joining. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.